Hello everybody, welcome back to Ranked, the only show on the internet where I take my biased opinions, throw them on a tier list. In today's video, we're going to be ranking Mario RPG games. Everything from Mario plus Rabbids to Paper Mario. Let's get into this. First of all, let me just say that these are my biased opinions. If I happen to say something that offends you, let me know down in the comments. But I don't really care. Something really awesome about these games is that they're all really cool in their own unique way. I have my favorites, and I have my least favorites, but they were all still pretty fun. And I actually mean it this time, unlike the Zelda video. Now yes, there are games like Paper Mario Color Splash, for example, which are pretty far from the RPG games that we come to know and love. But I don't think that's a good reason to hate it. They all have their weird gimmicks to make them a fun and interesting experience to play. Alright, so now that we know that, let's get started. For real this time. We're going to start where it all began. Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. This game, although good, just hasn't aged very well. It's a classic with plenty of charm, no doubt, but it's definitely not the best of the best. For that, I'm putting Super Mario RPG into B. And no, I'm not talking about the remake, which has insanely beautiful graphics. Although the characters do look a tad strange, I'll be honest. The remake goes into S, and the OG into B. Let's start ramping it up with the OG Paper Mario. It was originally a sequel to Mario RPG, but Nintendo made it so much more than just a sequel. They also made Mario out of paper. I know, right? Shocker. I don't think the battle mode in this game was very fleshed out, but it's definitely a start to what would be a very great franchise. Yes, I am aware that Nintendo ended up changing the battle system a bajillion times, but that's not talking about Paper Mario 64. Similar to the previous game, it's definitely not the best that Mario RPG has to offer. Thus, I'm going to be putting this guy into A tier. Moving on from that, let's get into Mario RPG Superstar Saga. This game was for the GBA, and it was the first Mario & Luigi game. Cool. According to a lot of people, it was the best Mario & Luigi game. I disagree. I'm going to die. I didn't really love it when I played it on the 3DS. It was fun, no doubt, but I got kind of stuck. I'm just gonna be honest. I got stuck. However, still a good game. There's also the remake for the 3DS, which includes Bowser's Minions. A pretty fun side game.
I honestly put more time into Bowser's Minions than the main game.
Because of the added game and improved graphics, I'm going to be putting the remake into S and the OG version into A. Alright, on to Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. This game is one of the greatest on the GameCube, and yes, I did play it. Do not ask how. It looks beautiful for being on such an old console. The story is so unique and just really fun. It was honestly one of my favorite Paper Mario games, and I might just buy the remake. Speaking of, the remake coming out for the Switch is expected to be even better than the original one. So for that, we're going to be putting the remake into Dastardly.
I want to buy this game, and if you know me, I don't usually buy games.
I'll form an opinion on it once it releases, but for now, it stays in Dastardly. Oh, and the OG into S. Guess what? It's Mario and Luigi. Partners in Time? The poorest excuse for time travel I've ever seen. It was actually a really fun game. It wasn't the best, but I mean, what game is? Has any game ever gotten an average Metacritic score of 100? I can confirm that's a no. Only Ocarina of Time has gotten that close, getting a 99. But I digress. Partners in Time is, according to essentially every Mario and Luigi fan, the hardest game in the series. Alike to the other Mario & Luigi games, it's filled with some pretty difficult battles. However, I think I had heard somewhere that it will double the health of bosses if you do something. But I don't remember what that something was. It was still a great game though. Filled with challenges, such as the fact that the babies are now a part of attacks. That makes battles a little bit more difficult. I'm gonna be honest. Unfortunately, I haven't beaten it yet. But hopefully over the summer, I'll be able to put some real time into this game. Dastardly. Up next, we've got Paper Mario for the Wii. Originally, this game was to be a GameCube game. However, when Nintendo took a second look at the release date for the game and the release date of the Wii, they were like, you know what? We might be cutting this a bit close. Let's throw it on the Wii. I haven't played this one yet. From what I've heard, it's a mixed bag. Some people loved it. Some people hated it. I've seen stuff saying that the game is criminally underrated. It, similar to The Thousand Year Door, has a really interesting story. The general consensus is that it's a really good game that you need to try out if you are into the Paper Mario series. A tier. Up next is Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story. Can I just be perfectly honest with you? This is genuinely one of my favorite games ever. I genuinely enjoyed it so much, to the point where I can't even describe it to you. I beat the game, and I got over 40 hours into it. If that doesn't convince you that this is a good game, I don't know what will. There's also the remake of the game. with improved graphics and a side game, Bowser Jr.'s Journey. Regardless, just play the game, seriously. I do not care how you do it, just play the freaking game. Anyway, I'm going to be putting the OG one into Dastardly and the remake into Dastardly Plus. Paper Mario Sticker Star. What? I'm gonna be honest here, this game isn't great. It's just kind of gimmicky. You gotta have stickers to do your attacks, which sounds good on paper. Get it? But when put into practice, it's kinda boring. Now, do not get me wrong. At first, it seems like a fun concept, but I'm sure that if you start to get deep into the game, it'll get more boring and redundant. I enjoy what I played, but I found myself scavenging for toads. Again, I don't really like the concept of looking for hundreds of paper toads just to progress through the game. I know, right? What? But hey, maybe that's just me. For that, it goes into B. My apologies. I was just jamming out to Mario and Luigi's fire music from Dream Team. This game was so good. Like, so good. Did I mention that it was good? I found the story to just be really unique and fun. And the gameplay was awesome, featuring some iconic Bros attacks that will never be forgotten. Unfortunately, it's not everybody's favorite. But it is mine. Sometimes I forget about this game. It's often overshadowed by Zelda and Animal Crossing. But this is definitely one of my favorite games out there. Fight me. I dare you. Two incredible games back to back. Yep, it's Mario and Luigi Paper Jam. Yes, I realize no one is going to agree with me on this one. But what did I say about these being my biased opinions, huh? Anyway, this game was really fun. I liked the last game. It had an awesome and unique story with really cool Bros attacks. I find that the way it merges the paper and normal worlds together just to be really hilarious. Yes, I understand that there aren't a lot of special characters in the game. Yes, I understand that after a while the cutscene-like attacks start to get boring. Yes, I understand that collecting toads can be one of the most boring things imaginable. But I don't really care. It was a good game regardless, and it's definitely one of my favorite games in existence. Dastardly Plus. Paper Mario Color Splash. Why? Color Splash has an annoying gimmick with the paint meter. If you're out of paint, can't fight, which shouldn't be hard to do. But it still happens. I don't know if I'm just bad at video games, or if it's just this stupid game. I'll take the latter. B tier. Paper Mario the Origami King. Contrary to popular belief, I think this game was actually really good. I absolutely love the bright and cheery atmosphere of this game. No, it isn't the RPG style of games that we've all come to love out of Paper Mario and the Mario and Luigi games. But I still think it's okay to shake it up every once in a while. I think the game brought some really interesting stuff to the table. If Zelda is allowed to add literal cars to its game, I don't see how changing up the formula every now and again is the end of the world. S tier. Up next is Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. This game was awesome. Although not my favorite game, it's definitely up there. There's quite a different spin on the RPG formula that we've come to know out of the Mario RPGs. I still think it's a really fun game that you should play. Sure, I didn't beat it, but I played it enough to get a good feel for the gameplay and the general experience. S tier. Finally, we've got Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, the sequel to Kingdom Battle, and oh boy, is it a good sequel. I'm gonna be honest here, I didn't play very much at all. But I think based on what I played in the previous game, I can understand what it brings to the table. Firstly, it starts out pretty quickly, without much of an intro or much of an explanation. But it's a sequel, so what do you expect? Moving past that, the only difference I encountered before I was rudely interrupted by some unknown thing was that the battle mode was very nicely revamped. You can now move freely throughout battles, and you also have two guns. Dastardly. And with that, consider the Mario RPGs. If you enjoyed this episode of Ranked, then you might enjoy some of our other videos. You can click on this video for a video that I think you'll like, and you can click on this video for a video that YouTube thinks you'll like. Also, you can subscribe somewhere around here. Peace.